Hello, I'm back again. Today we're going to do the limit switch contacts on the Cord King M18-20 Firewood processor. The other day I showed you the problem I was having with the bar being bent, and in the process I showed you the problem of the saw not engaging when I would pull it down to cut the log. So the problem is in this limit switch here, it has a contact block and it has a bad contact in there. So it's intermittent. Sometimes it turns on and sometimes it doesn't. So it's kind of an annoying thing and I can't let it stay like that. So today we're going to take the limit switch apart and replace it. The limit switch is of the brand Telemecanique. I'm not sure if you can see that. Doesn't want to focus too good up close. And the part number of this switch is an XCKJ.H7. That's like a base part number. I'm not sure what size inlet this is. It might be a 7/8. I don't think, it doesn't look like a 1/2 inch. It's probably bigger than that. That has something to do with the part numbers. So what I'm getting at here is the part number on the cover of this switch is not the part number. I was losing my mind trying to figure out what the actual part number is. The Telemecanique website, they have a lot of products on there and it sucks. Their parametric search, where you can narrow down what kind of a switch you're looking for, sucks. It's so generalized that when you get the results, there's thousands of switches to search through. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. I sent them a nastygram and said, why is the part number not on the switch body? It's nowhere on the switch body. It's just this general .H7. Well, that doesn't help me at all. It gets me close, but close, there's still 100 switches in that range. So what am I looking for? So that kind of irked me a little bit, just trying to figure out what I had. Looking at the Telemecanique website was very frustrating, and I decided to look on Grainger to see what they had. So in searching through the Grainger website, I found the contact block that goes with the switch. And that's when I decided that paying, I forget what it was, $66 for the contact block was a lot cheaper than paying $100 and something for the entire switch. So replacing the contact block was relatively simple instead of replacing the entire switch, because that would have meant disconnecting the wire harness that goes in and pulling the wires out and taking the switch body off of there and readjusting the lever. I didn't want to go through all that, so the contact block seemed to be the best way to go about it. I just wanted to cover that real quick. I could replace the entire switch, but these things aren't exactly cheap. So we're going to try to just do the contacts. Now somebody, and you know, this is great and all, they were thinking that they didn't want water getting in here, so they filled this, not filled it, but they filled the top end of it with silicone adhesive. So this is not going to be so easy to get this out of here. I have to get rid of all this adhesive, which just basically means cutting it away from everything without cutting into my wires. So I don't know, this is yeah, this is not really fun. So it's gonna come out of here in little chibbles, because there's no other way of removing it.
One eternity later.
I think I can safely get the wires out of the way now. So all we need to do is loosen the terminal. There's one wire. there's the other wire. Okay, maybe. I could get to the screw now. There we go. That is the contact block. We've got a screw, one single screw, and then this just rests in there. So this is a little bit better view here. So the contact block just rests right in this space, and then when the limit switch operates, you can see that little plunger going up and down. All right, so now what I need to do is I'm going to get rid of some more of this silicone. Okay, now I can get to the screw hole. I'm just twisting the wire, twisting the strands back together on the wires because they kind of came undone when I pulled. So this is the new contact block. This came from Grainger. What we'll do is we will reattach the wires out here and then we'll push everything back in place. That'll make it a lot easier. But that's all it is just a block. And the contact, the little plunger hits this, and it's got normally open connections and normally closed connections. So when the plunger is out, the normally closed connections are closed. When the saw is completely retracted, the plunger is in, meaning the normally closed contacts are now open. And that's how it works. So when you advance the saw, it closes the contacts and engages the solenoid, which starts the hydraulic oil flow to the saw motor. We gotta get these even. Twist these strands together a little bit better. It's the wrong pair of pliers for this job. These need to be kind of even to do this, so I can put them both into the contact block at the same time. There we go. One wire is for the saw solenoid, and the other wire is for the oil pump. The red wire is coming from the battery. I think these need to be cleaned up a bit. Well, let's try it again. Let's try it again with a little more slack here. Not real thrilled with this arrangement here. It doesn't want that. It wants a number 1 Phillips. It doesn't like the number 2 Phillips. It likes the number 1 Phillips. Okay, these wires are all screwy. I don't know. I'm thinking about stripping the ends off and redoing them. If I can't get it this time, I may do that. That one needs to go in like that. Now, because this needs to be a very, very good connection. Okay. Guess it's on there. All right. Now the red wire. It's cold out here. My fingers are frozen, so this is not so easy to do when it's cold. All right, let's try that. Now push the wires back up in. And hopefully this will sit right where it was. They do not give you a new screw to go with the contact block, so you have to save the old one. There we are. Okay. So if you look at, this is the old contact, if you look right here, there's a little detent, and that's for the locator pin that's inside the switch housing. So that has to be lined up. So it is now seated. That seems to be okay. Now all we have to do is try it out. I'm just going to repeat the exact same test that I did yesterday. I'm going to hold this back. I'm going to turn the key on. And then we're going to listen. The pump comes on and the solenoid should engage. It's working every time now. So that was my problem, was a bad contact block. So that's it. The limit switch has been repaired with a new contact block. And I'll just put the cover back on and we should be ready to roll again as soon as I get my new bar. And we'll cover that either later today or tomorrow. I thought I would try doing a forensic analysis of this contact block just to see if I could figure out what happened to it. I'm not sure if I can get it apart. I'm not sure that it comes apart, but it looks like there might be something here. I'm still scraping away some of the silicone that was stuck to this. And I don't know if that's how you take it apart or not. Yeah, there we go. That's something. Yeah, look at that. Okay. That's one part. Hey, there it goes. Okay. So that's the inside of the contacts. Now let's see if we can have a better look here. Here we go. Okay. So if you look down in here, and maybe I'll take some pictures under the microscope here. Right there is the contact, and right there is the other contact. So this side is the normally closed side. When you operate the switch, these snap open. So down in here is the actual surface where the contacts connect. There and there. If we look at this under the microscope, we might be able to see something. Okay, so that was somewhat interesting. The contact block actually has two sets of contacts. You can see one set is there, and the other I just dropped is laying right there. And they're just they've just arced enough times, or I guess they're worn out. And some pictures from the microscope. You can look at the ones down inside here. This is the normally closed side. This is the normally closed side here. And if we look down inside, you can see the contacts are somewhat arced and burned a little bit, and I guess that was all it took. But interesting little contact block. I've never had one of those apart before. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day. We'll see you later.